Thank you very much indeed, Mark. As you see, the team's coming out here, and just look at the rain and the flags in the background there. You can see the breeze here. Really horrible conditions. Nigel Worthington, skipper tonight, his 61st cap, and a man who was 34 years of age last week. As Gillen was saying earlier, the Windsor Park pitch is looking fairly good despite the day we've had in Belfast, and there's a fairly good crowd. I know a lot of the tickets, about 9,000 tickets were sold for this game. All of them may not have turned up, of course. They may have decided, well, look at the night, let's watch it live on BBC Two. Ian Dowie going through the picture there, Michael O'Neill, Philip Gray. There's the man of the moment at Newcastle, Keith Gillespie. And we're now about to have the two anthems. Round of applause then for the Austrians. They've got about 80 supporters over for this game, plus about 40 media men. Now the national anthem. Good welcome indeed for the Northern Ireland players. They can't qualify, as we've said, but obviously trying to retrieve some glory here tonight. Just one victory at home, that was against Liechtenstein, way back in April of last year, but then 3 defeats at home really put us out of the running. Well, there's Keith Gillespie, the man who got that wonder goal in Vienna 13 months ago when Northern Ireland won the game by 2-1. And as George Best was saying, he was underpriced at $1 million. I'm told he's got a new contract, keeps him at St James's Park until 1999, and I would say he's got a fair increase in his salary as well. Now there's confirmation of the Northern Ireland team. Just 2 changes from that 4-0 win in Liechtenstein last month. Number 7 Gillespie, number 9 Dowie coming in. They were both suspended for that game. And Gerard McMahon and Jimmy Quinn, the men left out. And there's no place for Alan MacDonald. Hill and Hunter continue as the defensive pairing in the middle, and they've been very good, particularly in the game in Portugal in September, in that 1-1 draw in Oporto. Well, here's how the formation, tried and trusted 4-4-2. Well, sometimes Brian Hamilton, he just plays with one striker, but here we are at home tonight. He's got Dowie and Gray as the main strike force, and obviously hoping that Gillespie and Michael Hughes on the left flank push forward at every given opportunity. Now look here, interesting line about the Austrian team. Just 3 of this side played in the game 13 months ago, which were beaten 2-1 by Northern Ireland in Vienna. Number 5, Firesinger, the sweeper. Number 9, Tony Polster, he got the goal that night from a penalty kick. And number 11, Stauger. Now keep an eye on Stauger. He's the man who got a hat-trick against the Republic, and he got the goal last month against Portugal. 4 goals in the last 2 games. And there's how they'll play. It's quite complicated. Firesinger, the sweeper, as I said, then 4 men across there. Pfeifenberger, the anchor, and Polster is the lone striker. So Northern Ireland kick off. Referee tonight is Mr. Leif Sindel of Sweden, who in fact refereed Northern Ireland Austria here in 1991 when Northern Ireland won by 2-0. Goals that night from Dowie and Kingsley Black. Pfeifenberger, number 7. Here is Marasak. Firesinger with the long hair. This is Herzog. Good ball through, but well cut out there by Hunter. Northern Ireland have it. Lomas on a custom position of right back, of course, usually in midfield. It's a long, being held up in the breeze. Gray again. Gillespie getting in there. But here's Polster, the skipper, to pick it up. Gets it back. Nice little build-up here from the Austrians. That's Marasak. Gives it to Kubar. Now, Steiger, the danger man. But that was good play by Michael O'Neill. First touch for Alan Fettis. Dye's control lets him down. The Austrians have given it away. Michael Hughes needs support. Gets it now. O'Neill comes wide. Gillespie. The run outside is by Lomas. Looks for him, but sold him a bit short. But the throw-in goes to Northern Ireland. The tackle there by Stefan Marasak of Rapid Vienna. Gray comes short. That's Marasak. Get it away. This is Herzog from Bayern Munich. Switches the play very nicely indeed. Kubar comes wide to Marasak. Herzog favours the left foot. That's Hill with the header. Lennon asking a bit though of Lomas. The corner goes to Austria. And as you can see in that picture there, the rain still teeming down here. Dreadful conditions. And not a night for goalkeepers, particularly when you're earning your 13th cap. But Fettis says he's not superstitious. So crowded goal mouth for Peter Steiger to aim for. Ian Dowie is back there. Swings it in. It's not away yet. It should be now. Gray gets it out. Only as far as Kubar. Off Dowie. Another corner. So Northern Ireland playing against this gale force breeze in the first half. Ten Austrians in the Northern Ireland half. Steiger to curl it in again. Poor ball though. Good tackling back by Michael Hughes. Oh, nice skill from Michael Hughes. O'Neill. Lomas. A poor ball from Stephen Lomas. 21-year-old from Manchester City, winning his 9th cap this evening. Pfeifenberger to take the throw. On Polster. Steiger. That's Lomas. Good ball down the line. Just too long though for Gray. And it was Pfeffer doing the tidying. That's Lennon. Herzog, the man from Bayern Munich. And sent flying there by Michael O'Neill. Played last season with Werder Bremen, who played Glenavon earlier this season, of course, in the UEFA Cup. Nice left-footed player. And down he goes. Northern Ireland have it though. Here's Lennon. Cross to his skipper, Nigel Worthington. Dowie the target. That was away by Pfeifenberger. Worthington again. Ball really swirling in this breeze. 5 minutes gone, still 0-0. George, it's been a fairly frantic start.
Yeah, I think we thought that was going to happen, but the conditions are going to... I think the more the game goes on, we're hoping it's going to settle a little bit, but it really doesn't look like it. But considering the wind, I think the players are handling it pretty well at the moment.
Yes, indeed, the control of Barry Hunter there, letting him down. I was talking to his manager from Wrexham, Brian Flynn, earlier, and reputedly a few scouts from top clubs are having a look tonight at Barry Hunter, who will be 27 on Saturday. Free kick given against Michael O'Neill, taken quickly. Here's Pfeifenberger. Kubar. Kirksov. Well blocked though by O'Neill. And away comes Gillespie. This is what Hamilton wants. He's really setting the Premiership alight with these runs. Looked like obstruction there. Swedish referee not impressed. Marasak. The Austrians have only been to Belfast twice before and beaten both times. 1983 by 3-1, when the manager Herbert Prohaska, he was the captain that night, former midfielder. And then in 1991, as I said earlier, when they were beaten 2-0. And they come here tonight, hoping to end that run and obviously needing the win, which they hope will take them through to their first ever European Championship finals. Worthington trying to make some headway against the gale. And he's doing well, being allowed to run. Hughes is outside. The Austrians get it away. Pfeifenberger. Good tackle though from Gillespie. And he picks it up. But not too many green shirts forward. Lomas looks down the line for Dowie. Always the willing target, Ian Dowie. Firesinger, the sweeper, making his way out there. Here's Polster. Marasak. Still Marasak. Good run there from... It was Pfeifenberger. Ball, but there we are. Alan Fettis quickly out. He had some trouble, Alan Fettis, with a finger on his left hand, but he was pass fit earlier today, and he said it's not causing him any real problems. On by Dowie. Gray lurking. Consul finds Firesinger. Colin Hill loses out. Bit of space here in midfield for the Austrians. Kubar. Marasak is wide. It's a good build-up. He lost his footing though. And that was Schopp, the number 2, looking for the obstruction, but didn't get it. Had a very good game last month against Portugal. Marcus Schopp. There we are. Yes, no obstruction there. He'd lost the ball. Schopp. That's Neil Lennon in the way, and Hill just gets it forward. Forward by Kogler. Hunter back to Fettis. And here's Worthington. Squad player these days at Leeds United, having trouble getting into the first team. A bit of pushing there on the back of Ian Dowie. Free kick for Northern Ireland, and a chance for the green shirts to push forward. Hughes. Worthington. But the ball charged down. Well, there's the crowd, as I said. Not too bad, considering the evening we have here. Worthington. Hunter. 10 minutes gone, still 0-0 here at Windsor Park. Lopez plays the advantage, the referee. Gillespie, no, well, he hit the dead ball line. That's a good cross in, Gray at the far post, just couldn't control it. Difficult ball though, it came over the head of Walter Kogler, appreciated by the fans, but Gillespie doing his job, getting to the byline. And here we come. Dowie just couldn't find a way through. O'Neill couldn't intercept. Now the Austrians break. Kubar, plenty of white shorts forward. But they just made it a little bit too complicated for themselves. But George, a sign there, the Austrians could be very quick in the counter-attack.
Yeah, that's a problem. If you push up too far, they're going to catch you. They've got a lot of players, a lot of skill. So far, after 10 or so minutes, neither goalkeeper really been tested yet. I think one thing that both teams are going to be careful of is the back pass, because under these conditions, it only needs one slip, and the keeper's under a little bit of pressure when it comes to the back passes.
Yeah, it could be trouble, and I'm sure the goalkeepers have told their defenders that as well. Here's Worthington. Michael Hughes just didn't get through to him. Dowie, Gray to pick it up, but that was a good tackle by Firesinger. Poor ball though by Herzog, and Lennon has it. Michael O'Neill goes left, but that will be cut out. Looked like a handball. Referee didn't see it. Play on. Steiger gets it back. This could be dangerous here. Pfeifenberger, and that's Worthington to clear the danger. But the Austrians, they do look very sharp at times. And they'll be happy if they can hold on to half-time, playing against all of the elements. So Marasak making his way in there. And let's look for the in-swinger here. Difficult ball for Fettis. It's not away yet. It is now. Two Austrians were in there, but somehow Northern Ireland got it out. And obviously the in-swinging corner in these conditions, very dangerous indeed. And so it proved here. Fettis did very well indeed under pressure. And Northern Ireland fortunate to get it away. Austria come here looking for 3 points. They'd be regarded, I think, as an average European side, and yet whilst they've never been to a European final, they've been to 6 World Cup finals. Their best performance 1954 when they finished third. But the game tonight going live to Austria. Football very much the #1 sport over there. Skiing is next, and ice hockey is third, I'm told. You never played ice hockey, I'm sure, George.
Not yet.
You could tonight, though. But the Austrians were shocked in October of last year. Northern Ireland went to Vienna, beat them 2-1. But since then, they've really picked themselves up 13 points out of a possible 21. Draw against Portugal and wins over the Republic, both home and away. Gives you an inkling that things are improving. As we said earlier, with just 3 players retained from that night in October of last year. Many changes, and Herbert Prohaska, the manager, told me last night, a very different team. Worthington to hit it long. Dowie couldn't get there. Gray can, perhaps. Oh, he's done well. Very strong indeed. Good ball across. And Gillespie just couldn't get there. Well, he got there, but he couldn't keep it down. George, a nice break.
Great work here by Grays. Nicked it across. Gillespie's a little bit unlucky because the conditions really wet. It's spun off the turf a little bit too quick for him. I think under normal circumstances that might have been 1-0 for Northern Ireland.
Yes, almost his second goal and almost the double over the Austrians, but not quite. But it certainly brought the fans here to life. Polster up there with Hunter. Austria get the throw. Quarter of an hour gone. Still waiting the first goal. Pfeifenberger. Marasak it was, putting it into touch. Northern Ireland no doubt to take their time. There we are, confirmation. Just over 15 minutes gone. It's still 0-0. Lennon and O'Neill working hard there in that midfield, the central midfield area. Here's Gray. Phil Gray got the second goal in Vienna last year. So much talk about the wonder goal that evening from Keith Gillespie. I think some people tend to forget who got the other one. Northern Ireland trying to push forward. Hunter having to go back. Finds Lomas. Gillespie. Nice one too. Dowie. Lomas. Snags back the way. That's Hunter. Hangs in the breeze. Dowie could get there first. He's done well. Who got a cross? It's and Phil Gray almost got in there. And that was so close for Northern Ireland. Michael Fusion was in the far post, and Gray just missing out. The crowd are really bubbling. They may be cold and wet as the Austrians get the free kick. Marasak, let's have a look at this. Dowie did ever so well. Goalkeeper caught on the wrong post. There's Hughes and Gray just behind him. But it's encouraging stuff from Northern Ireland, George.
That's terrific, Jackie. Two great chances from him, and really Austria haven't created a clear-cut chance so far. One chance maybe from a corner with the ball swirling in the wind, but that's two terrific chances for Northern Ireland.
There's Kubar. Crossed by Steiger. Hill with the header. Gray, very strong player is Phil Gray. Gives it to another strong player, Ian Dowie, looking for the pace of Keith Gillespie, but the ball just too far. So the Austrians trying to calm things down. Here's Herzog. Set across to Kugler. Herzog again. Always wants it on that left foot. Good build up here. Kubar flicked on here. Pfeifenberger going in, but Worthington did very well to close him out. But once again, the Austrians showing their danger, and there's the experience of Worthington. So Fettis, and just look at the green shirts there to defend the in-swinger. Dowie is back there. Well, that's another good ball. Did it come off the post? Was it headed away? I'm not sure. And it goes again, but that's much too long. And a bit of a breather for Alan Fettis and his defenders. And here we are, George. Let's see what happens here. Good ball in. Oh, it was away by Fettis, perhaps.
That was terrific, yeah. A lot of bodies, you say, Jackie, in there. This is where they're going to cause problems. All they have to do is lift the ball in the air, and no one knows where it's going to end up. Goalkeeper's done a terrific job there. It's
Alan Fettis, his 6th international in the trot. Tommy Wright, of course, been missing he's been out injured for a year, and due back with Nottingham Forest any day now. And let's wish Big Tommy a full recovery. But Fettis has certainly established himself and done very well indeed. Worthington, bit of space on that left-hand side. Hughes, back to Worthington. O'Neill. Forced back though. Here's Hill, will give it to Hunter. Comes all the way across to Lomas. And Northern Ireland start again. Dowie. Here's Gillespie. Gray is inside. Likes to run the defenders. Oh, he's clipped it in well. He's not away yet. Dowie! He just couldn't turn on it. And Consul did very well. Dowie thought he was in again. But the goalkeeper did well to put him under pressure. And the danger was gone. Stephen Morrow, a quick word from you back in the warmth of the studio.
Yeah, Jackie, we feel it's going very well for us so far. Obviously, the conditions are very difficult and they look dangerous in set pieces. But Jim and I were just saying we look very dangerous if we can get the ball into the wide areas behind the fullbacks. If Ian Dowie and Phil Gray or Keith Gillespie and Michael Hughes can pull into those areas and get crosses in from there, that's when we look most dangerous.
Yes, we should have some optimism at this time. Stephen, thank you very much indeed. Marasak thought it was his throw. He doesn't look too happy. Lomas goes all the way back to his goalkeeper. Fettis, quick throw. Worthington. Hughes. Worthington again. Here's Gray going into that wide position, as Stephen Morrow was saying. Lennon gives it to Worthington. Just dive forward. Good support here. Chance for Northern Ireland to get forward this time. Gillespie hits it. No, he hit it well. But it was always missing the target. But that's the sign of a player full of confidence, George.
Yeah, and also, Jackie, under these conditions, with the ball coming up, if it hits the turf before it hits the keeper, which it just does here, just slightly off target, but under these conditions you might as well have a goal. As you say, he's full of confidence the way he's been playing this season.
There we are, but well wide of the mark. So up comes the chance. Northern Ireland, and no doubt on the bench below me, manager Brian Hamilton will be fairly well pleased the way his side have started. The Austrians quite happy to keep ball at the moment. Pfeffer gives it away though. Austria have won 5 of their previous 9 games in the group, 3 at home and 2 away. And as I was saying, home and away wins over the Republic, and it's never easy to win in Dublin, as we know. And of course the Republic were here last November and hammered Northern Ireland by 4-0. At that time Jack Charlton's side seemed to be well on their way to qualifying, but as we know they're in Lisbon tonight and they're still not sure. Lomas gets it back. O'Neill. Worthington will leave it for Michael Hughes. Here's Hill. Michael Hughes just couldn't pick it up on the run. Forward by Worthington, but no green shirts that far forward. But George, I think it's fairly noticeable the Austrians started the pace, but the last 10 or 15 minutes they've been a bit muted.
Yeah, after just over 20 minutes, Northern Ireland have had 3 really good chances and 1 half chance. So they've got to be feeling more confident of the 2 sides. I would think Branham will be delighted with this performance so far.
Hunter under it. O'Neill. Here's Lomas. Good ball, but just cut out. Good striking back there by number 8, Andy Herzog. There's the Austrian bench, the man with the moustache, second right with the pig cap, Herbert Prohaska, the manager. Anxious evening for him, of course, looking to qualify. Lennon gives it to Hill. Worthington, a bit of space as the Austrians move across. Hughes. Northern Ireland playing good control football at times. Having said that, at times they're not making much headway, but the Austrians getting plenty of men behind the ball. Lomas, chance to get forward. Looks for the pace of Gillespie and finds it. Gillespie just losing out, lost his footing, got it back, but then lost the ball. Polster, little touch there on Gray, I would have thought. Austrian skipper, man who's got 33 international goals, his 73rd cap this evening. Tony Polster plays with Cologne. In fact, Polster and Herzog, the only 2 players who play outside of Austria. So 10 Northern Ireland players inside the Austrian half as Worthington takes. Dowie tries to get in there. Lennon pushes it through. Here's Hughes. Jinxed his way. Oh, here's Dowie. O'Neill! Oh, yes! Michael O'Neill! Just what they were waiting for. Just what all of us were waiting for. Michael O'Neill, he got 1 last month against Liechtenstein. It's his 3rd international goal tonight. His previous international goal had been 5.5 years ago in 1989. Ended the famine last month, and here he is. What a great finish. Bottom corner, keeper, no chance.
Well, what a great move this is, Johnny. Terrific ball crossed over. Dowie's done a great knockdown, and I think it was inevitable. It looked like it was coming, and a great finish. And deservedly, Northern Ireland gone in the lead.
Yes, there's confirmation of the scoreline here at Windsor Park. 27 minutes gone, it's 1-0. And no doubt someone will have told Jack Charlton the news over there in Lisbon. Dowie. The crowd are buzzing. So's Gillespie at this moment. But a bad ball though. And the Austrians, they must be slightly stunned by that goal. Starger running out of space, and there's the hero for the moment, O'Neill, giving it to a fellow Ballymena man, Nigel Worthington. Hughes, such a talented little player, and just as I say that, he gives us a bit of trickery. Gray looked for the 1-2, didn't come off, but a poor ball, and a sign there of a little bit of pressure on the Austrians, George.
Yes,
very poor ball.
They really do look under the couch, don't they? You would think they would be taking the game a little bit more to Northern Ireland with the position they're in, but Northern Ireland at the moment totally dominating. They've hardly given the ball away, and playing some terrific stuff.
Free kick given. Still a very blustery, a very wet and a very cold night here at Windsor Park. Well, the Northern Ireland fans probably don't feel it at the moment, lifted by that goal. And what a good strike it was by Michael O'Neill. There he is, Michael O'Neill, 26-year-old, 27th cap this evening. Was out of favour just recently, but then brought back. That goal last month, as I said, against Liechtenstein, and the only goal so far this evening. foul given again there belatedly by the referee. And half an hour gone of this first half, 1-0 Northern Ireland, as the Austrians try to get forward. Oh, the good chance here, but oh, good tackle it was by Lomas. And the man who normally plays in midfield, he marks very well as a defender. And gets it downfield. Hunter, here's Lomas again. Dowie. Inside, O'Neill will go all the way across, I'm sure, to Worthington, and does. The crowd urging him forward. Hughes is outside, receives. Oh, round the defender. Plenty of men in the middle. It's a good ball in. Gray just couldn't get there. And the corner kick has been given. But once again, very quick move indeed from Northern Ireland.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jack, they must, the Austrians don't know what's hit them in a moment. Everybody up front for Northern Ireland is buzzing.
And here's the cross. The Austrians get it out. O'Neill lays it inside. Here's Hughes. Looks for the 1-2. Dowie, down he goes! Penalty kick is given. And they absolutely agree with the referee. I don't think there was too much doubt, George.
Well, Hughes has done terrifically well again. The lad's having a brilliant first half. I don't think there was any doubt that the referee was going to give it. The Austrians at the moment are all at sea. They've got no answer at all to the Northern Ireland attacks.
So Ian Dowie to make it 2-0, and does. Absolute delight here at Windsor Park. And the Austrians for the moment must be devastated. 32 minutes gone, 2-0, blows a kiss to the bench, and Windsor Park is alight. His 5th goal of this European campaign, and he buried it. Northern Ireland, 2-0 up. And George, the Austrians really under the cosh now.
Well, that's amazing. This is some performance from Northern Ireland. They're playing like European champions at the moment. If they'd have been doing this up until this game, there'd be no doubt that they'd have been in there. It's some terrific stuff. They've looked solid at the back, give nothing away, and up front, every time they attack, they look like something's going to happen. 2-0 up, terrific stuff.
Yes, just looking back to that game in Vienna, actually the players were saying that defensively the Austrians were not too strong or not too clever. But for the moment it's Northern Ireland defending. A shot was trying to get in there. Tony Polster complaining, looking for a free kick. The tackle from Barry Hunter it was, but not given. But what a first half it's been. Michael O'Neill, Ian Dowie penalty, and Northern Ireland in the driving seat. Sadly, we started the game knowing that we couldn't qualify, and perhaps a bit of pressure off. The boys are more relaxed there tonight. And the Austrians, the white shirts, will now have to try and push forward. Kubar, Marasak. It's a good ball in. It may fall for Kubar. It's not away yet. It's all a tangle in there, isn't it? And that's Lennon emerging. Hughes. They challenge Dowie. Hughes to take it up. Northern Ireland going forward again. Gray. Hughes. Here's Gillespie. Great stuff from Northern Ireland. Gray with the header, but he just couldn't get any real power on it. But once again, the supply, the cross from Gillespie, and the ball slightly behind Gray, to his credit. So right at the top of the programme, if you saw that, you'll remember Jack Charlton saying, Brian Hamilton, do us a favour. Well, so far, he certainly is. Fire Singer. Looked for Polster, but that's a poor ball. Worthington. Fettis, safety first, just puts it out of play. Good tackling, good defending by Hunter. You have the Austrian players, they're shouting at each other. And already at this stage, some of the players look a bit dispirited. There's the skipper, Tony Polster, in your picture there. A man who's got 11 goals in this championship. Austria could certainly do with a couple of them tonight. But let me not wish him well. So there we are, Ian Dowie. 8 international goals now with that penalty kick. His second penalty kick of this European Championships. He got one in Latvia when we won out there by 1-0 in Riga. Herzog. Sold Polster a bit short there, a hospital ball, but he did well to retrieve it. This is Kogler to Kubar. The rain still pouring down here, and the breeze just as strong. It's a good build-up from the Austrians, eventually coming to nothing. Strong tackle there from Pfeffer it was. Marasek finds Steiger. Poor ball again though. The final cross, the final pass from the Austrians has not been good so far. Shot, oh, here's Steiger. But Hunter was there, and that man Steiger almost in there. Here we are, but safely in the hands of Alan Fettis. But Steiger, 4 goals in the last 2 games. Certainly a man to look out for. Fans are happy. That's a good long ball. Marasek got it in, but that was off Gillespie. And Kevin Keegan was saying that this year that's possibly where a lot of his game has improved, his work rate, he's working back, he's tackling back, and that was a good example. Now, Steiger to hit it in, the header out. That looked like Colin Hill. There he is in the middle of your picture. The rain driving into the commentary box here, I have to say. That's Steiger again with the cross. Up goes Polster. And that's Hughes, just hooks it away. The ball going off Marcus Schopp. And the throw-in goes to Northern Ireland. Gray. Good covering on the far side. Difficult to pick out some of the players on the far side of the pitch. The rain driving into our eyes here, and into our cameras, and into our monitors. Pfeifenberger, Polster, Pfeifenberger, but running out of space. Oh, that's well hit! And that wasn't too far away from the left foot of Andy Herzog. Herzog, he's got 10 international goals, and that was close, George.
Yes, the Austrians will be desperate to get a goal before half-time. They've been really outplayed in this first 39 minutes or so. Alan Fettis really hasn't been called upon to make a really good save. And as I say, if Austria don't pull one back, you can't really see them getting back into this game.
Yes, and Northern Ireland will be playing with the very strong breeze in the second half. 5 minutes left in this first half. 2-0 Northern Ireland. Michael O'Neill and a penalty kick from Dowie. Hughes just losing out there for Northern Ireland. Could well have been very dangerous and looking dangerous again. Kogler gives it to Kubar. Dietmar Kubar. But George, I think it's fair to say the Austrians, I was talking earlier about the final pass, the final cross, they haven't played well.
They really haven't. The lads you expect to cause problems. You can't really pick one of the Austrian players out and say they've been able to dominate the game and put their foot on it. They've been totally outplayed in this first half. Very disappointing.
Yes, indeed, and all credit to Northern Ireland. They've closed them down, and as George said earlier, they've worked hard. They're solid at the back. And O'Neill and Lennon have worked very hard indeed. And just look at the rain there. It's just really George and I inside the commentary box, even though the rain's beating in as Lomas hits it forward, but much too long. Spare a thought for our cameramen tonight, out in the elements. And camera woman as well. Camera persons, I better say. Worthington takes the throw. Hughes likes to taunt and tease defenders. Wins the corner. Jerry Armstrong there, Brian Hamilton beyond him. As Konzel gets ready to defend again. He hit it in the fly, but it wasn't to be. Konzel hits it long with the help of the breeze. Hill. Marasak. Oh, and Marasak did well to cut out the supply there to Gillespie. And Dowie battling to get it back. But here's Marasak this time again. He's given it away. Bit of pulling and pushing there. Michael O'Neill having a little contretemps. It's Herzog who's involved. But play goes on. Gillespie has it. Whips in the cross again. Oh, good save the keeper. It was Neil Lennon with the shot. But the keeper did very well indeed. His first game at Windsor Park and almost his first goal.
Let's just show Jack the confidence. It looks like he's going to shoot first of all. The confidence has just gone through the whole Irish team at the moment. Every time they attack now, they look like they're going to add to the 2 goals. Terrific.
Yes, indeed, Lennon, one of the young players that's been blooded throughout this European Championship campaign. The World Cup draw coming up next month. We know who we take on there, and I think it's fair to say that the younger players, Gillespie, Gerard McMahon, who's not one of the substitutes tonight, he had a bad cold most of the week, but a lot of young players coming through, and there's some optimism for the future. I turned away momentarily there, but that shot just swinging over the bar. Fettis doing well to get some length in these conditions. Shot. Pfeffer. It's Kogler. Good force to get back to his goalkeeper. Good closing down, good marking by the Northern Ireland players. Off the head of Hill, Worthington. Fettis gets it out of the danger area. He'll be well pleased with the opening 45 minutes, which is almost at an end. We're now in time added on in this first half. And the corner kick has been given. And obviously a nice time for the Austrians to score, as George was saying. And Northern Ireland will not want to concede. It's swinging in. Oh, it could have been. It should have been. Now then, Northern Ireland, some poor marking there. And that was Kogler who was up there, Walter Kogler. And the referee has brought the first half to an end. George, a quick summing up.
Well, absolutely unbelievable from Northern Ireland point of view. They look solid at the back. That was really the only clear-cut chance the Austrians have had right at the death there. They've dominated midfield, Northern Ireland. Every time they've attacked up front, everyone's looked terrifically sharp, defended well, and they've got to be really pleased with this situation.
And the Austrians, they must be completely deflated at this stage. The goals from O'Neill and Dowie at half-time. It's Northern Ireland 2, Austria 0.
All drenched at Windsor Park right down to their wee cotton socks. We'll have the latest news from Lisbon, the Portugal Republic of Ireland game, of course. But first, let's have a chat about that fantastic first half for Northern Ireland, Stevie. What is your summation of that?
Well, I mean, you can't fault the lads in any department, really. We've looked very solid at the back. I think the danger men really have been our wingers. We've got good early crosses in, and since we scored the first goal, you can see everybody's confidence just growing, and we've played ever so well throughout the team.
Jim, your thoughts on that?
Tremendous. I mean, the manager must be absolutely delighted. Every one of the lads have performed extremely well under extremely bad conditions. I mean, he must be chuffed, absolutely chuffed. I think our back four have set our stall out. They've been tremendous. Our midfield have worked tirelessly, and up front, every time the ball's gone up front, we looked as if we're going to score goals.
What do you think has been the change, Steve? Because we're creating chances now. We haven't played that well at home in the European Championship campaign, but suddenly a big change tonight.
Maybe the change is me and Jimmy sitting here. Is that the change?
Nothing personal. But yeah.
No, I mean, you can't put your finger on what went wrong in the other home games. We just haven't played well at all. We've just gone out tonight and it's gone well right from the first whistle. We can say that Austria haven't played well, but we haven't let them play well. We've closed down well in midfield, and we made the point about Keith Gillespie working back as well. I mean, both wingers have worked back tremendously hard as well, and it's just been a good all-round team performance.
Well, let's take a run through a few of those chances in the first half. We had three pretty good ones before the first goal. Jim?
Yeah, Phil Gray does really well here. As George Best says, he just skidded off the surface there. I think if it had been a dry day, I think Keith would have finished that off, but unfortunately it skidded off the turf, and a bit unfortunate.
Yes, and again, it's a man getting to the byline, Steve, isn't it?
It is, yeah, and the good thing as well, Mark, is when one winger's crossing the ball from there, the other winger's been getting on the far post as well, which has been
They've
nice
been prepared to have a gamble, which is the biggest thing. Right. I mean, I think that's what he's been trying to preach to both of them.
And this was Philip Gray's chance as well. I mean,
yeah.
they were coming with great frequency in that first half, weren't they?
That's right. As I say, once we got one or two early chances, the confidence just grew, and we just seemed to do everything right, you know.
Yeah. Michael Hughes in midfield, Jim, you'd know a lot about the role that he's been playing, and it seems to have worked pretty effectively.
Yeah, I think early on he started to flit inside an awful lot, and I think Brian was encouraging him to walk the chalk, which, you know, to stay on the touchline. I think he did that very well, and we got more joy when Nigel Worthington was passing the ball and encouraging him to take on his fullback, getting behind him and crossing good balls, which he has been doing for West Ham.
Yeah, there might have been a bit of a worry in midfield with Lennon and O'Neill, but you know, they've played very well.
They have.
I'm trying to build you up again after that last time.
Yeah, Michael O'Neill's been tremendous too. I mean, they've all played well as a unit, you know, and defended well when we've had to as well. And Neil Lennon has sat in front of the back four as well and cut out sort of any attacks that they had as well.
Well, let's have a look at the Michael O'Neill goal. I think his first goal for Northern Ireland was in '89 against Malta, and he scored one recently. But it was a great chest down by Dowie, wasn't it, Jim?
Great build-up, tremendous build-up. I think Michael Hughes had a little shimmy on the edge of the box, crossed it, and Dowie done tremendously well. That's a great strike. Against the breeze, he had to keep it down. He did exactly that. Great technique, great finish.
Have you been surprised, Steve, with the Austrians?
I mean, when you look towards back at the last game against the Republic of Ireland at home, they were a completely different side. Maybe they've come to Windsor Park and it is hard to play against Northern Ireland at Windsor, and maybe they don't fancy the conditions as well. I mean, they've been terrible in the first half. Yeah. could be a different second half. You know, they might come out.
Definitely. I mean, their
have the
ultimate
wind
aim
behind
is to
them.
play in England, and I just can't believe the way they've come out, lack of commitment. Whether or not our lads have just played, you know, very well. I'm sure these lads, these Austrians have, you know, if they win, they go to England,
Yeah.
and I'm very surprised.
When you think of what's at stake for them, they really haven't come out and attacked us at all. But as I say, they'll have the wind behind them in the second half. So.
Well, you played in Austria, Jim, in that game, which we won. I mean, how did you rate them as a side out there?
I felt the first 45 minutes we played very well. We got 2 good goals. Second half they came at us, but they had to. They were playing at home. Their crowd was getting on to them a little bit, and I mean, for us to go out there and have a 2-goal start was tremendous. But I was very surprised at them out there as well, Mark, I have to say. I think they defended very badly against us, and it just goes to show, I mean, we can play well against very good sides.
What about the penalty? It looked fairly clear-cut from here. I think Jackie and George thought it was a penalty as well. What was your view?
Oh, it was definitely a penalty. I mean, it's the build-up as well. We're playing nice little 1-2s around the box, and Ian turned sort of quicker than he normally does inside the box there.
I think Ian Dowie was going down anyway. I think he had made up his mind he was going down because he knew he was hitting a penalty.
Yeah, so you took the microphone on an attempt to get to Windsor Park in time to take it.
Absolutely.
We wouldn't have got the ball
Stevie,
up.
I think, you know, we certainly deserved that second goal because we'd overwhelmed them.
Yeah, I mean, we had quite a few other chances as well. And I think that's Ian's sort of policy and penalties as well. He just blasted straight down the middle. And I mean, in penalties, the keeper always sort of dives
That's right.
one way or the
That's like
other.
his first touch, actually. Sometimes.
That's him placing it.
I'm surprised he didn't hit it. You know.
He was described in the paper this morning as the Hatfield Thunderbolt. I can see now why.
Not wrong.
What about the defence, the Northern Ireland defence? Again, you know, Brian Hamlin's taken a bit of a gamble. He had Barry Hunter there and Colin Hill, McDonald on the bench, but they seem to play pretty well too.
Yeah, I mean, they played together in Portugal. It was a tremendous test for them, really. And Liechtenstein as well, which, I mean, they weren't as good opposition, but they played very, very well together, and it's another good test for them tonight. And I think they complement each other well because they both got a bit of pace, and Barry's good in the air, and if he goes and attacks the Colin, will drop round and cover behind him. So they seem to balance off each other very well.
And Jim, they've combined very well at the back, and they haven't allowed the Austrians all that many chances. I think I counted 2 or 3.
Definitely, Mark. I think you know, once you set your stall out, you're looking at your back 4 to be really solid. I think Barry Hunter, Colin Hill have been tremendous. Steve Lomas has come in at right back and looked very, very comfortable. Nigel Worthington has done his usual relaxed kind of job, gets on the ball, uses his front men very well, and we've looked absolutely solid.
The conditions, the weather tonight, we're playing into that strong gale, and we've handled it very well.
Yeah, I think when you're playing against that, it's a matter of trying to get the ball down, which we've done, and we've tried to, even though the conditions, pass through midfield and got it into the front men early, and then got it wide and got good crosses in, so we've set our stall out well.
Okay, Steve, Jim, thanks very much. And let's head back to rain and wind-swept at Windsor Park and hear the thoughts of Jackie Fullerton and George Best.
Right, thank you very much indeed, Mark. Who said television was a glamorous business? I've seen the two of us looking better, but George, the boys are obviously very pleased with the first half, and I think you are as well. You've already said it. Yeah,
Welcome to the George Best Fashion Show, by the way. Even the microphones are freezing. Yeah, I mean, the conditions are diabolical, but if anything's warmed us up, it's been the play. Very impressed. I think Gillespie and Hughes have been impressive. I think Lomas at the backs has had a terrific game. Well, but you can't really pick out players because no one's put a foot wrong as far as I'm concerned. Austrians had a chance there to pull one back at the end, but I'm sure there'll be a few ears burning in the Austrian dressing room. They really haven't done anything, but all credit to the Northern Ireland boys. They've looked terrific.
Yeah, let me mention young Hunter and Lennon, 2 lads from the 2nd Division. To step up in international football, it's a big jump, isn't it?
There again, you know, they haven't put a foot wrong. They've looked in international players, and as you say, coming from lower divisions, you know, Northern Ireland have always had that problem. You know, we've never really had a big squad, and at times we've had to rely on players from lower divisions and sometimes from the Irish League. But these 2 lads have done terrific.
Right, are you enjoying it?
Anybody got a large gin and tonic?
Okay, back to you, Mark.
Doesn't Jackie look better when he covers half of his face? I think we'll have to get the wife Linda to run a warm bath for him back in Ballymena after the game. Right, we've kept you on thanks, lads. We've kept you on tenterhooks so far as the proceedings in Lisbon, Portugal against the Republic of Ireland. Let's find out what happened in the first half with George Hamilton.
After this, Aldridge is peeled away in the middle. Quinn's had a little look. There's the cross towards Aldridge, and Peter Bahia just got there first. Fernando Couto here opening for a shot. Kelly diving, but he had the angle covered well. All right, all the Irish are between ball and goal. There's one over the top, and Kelly, deciding that it was dangerous that Oceano was coming, has headed it wide, and it's gone away for the corner, first corner of the match. Domingos, he missed it for Couto. Goal kick. And the first 10 minutes have gone. Quinn's in there. Quinn with a shot, but he was fouling his man. Rui Costa. Oceano. Always going wide. Goal kick. Rui Costa. And there's Kenna once more. And Staunton going in. It's João Pinto now. And João Pinto. Oh, that came off bad. And the cross coming in. And Kelly shouts. Fab lets it go. That was danger. Figo. Oh, here's danger. Great challenge again by Paul McGrath. Wonderful, masterly defending. Irwin clears it, ball is out, McGrath is hurt.
Really, we've done exactly what we intended to do, you know. No point, as I said before the game, in giving anything away early on. We've been very solid, and they're getting a bit frustrated. And you never know, second half we might have a few chances ourselves.
Now the goalkeeper's really had a save to make.
Exactly, no, they've had a lot of possession. We're letting them have a lot of possession on the halfway line, but on the same token, we're pretty comfortable.
Andy, we'll let you get into the team talk. Thanks for talking to us. George.
Yes.
Things are going pretty well for the Republic in Portugal, and we're doing them a favour too, Steve. I suppose the Northern Ireland lads will be, be happy enough to help the Republic through to the England finals, will they?
Of course we will, yeah. I think we do them more favours than we do ourselves in qualifying competitions, but they seem to be doing well out there. It seems a very tight game and not very many clear-cut chances really, so I think they'll be very happy if things stay the way they are now.
Do you feel, Jim, that the Republic deserve to qualify for the finals? Because they could finish tonight on the same number of points as us, couldn't they?
I think they started the group unfair. I think they won their first 4 or 5 games. I think we all thought that was between Portugal, Republic of Ireland to go through, and it seems now that we're going to do them a favour. But I mean, like, if we don't qualify, I'm sure we love them to go. We know half the lads there. The majority of us all know, play against them week in, week out, and it'd be nice to see them as go if we beat Austria and they get a result out there.
We have a fairly young side, Steve, an emerging side. The Republic of Ireland team, I think the average age is around the 30, 31 mark. Do you think this is a team that is on the slide?
Yeah, I think these cycles keep coming round in football. We went through a stage like this, and our older players sort of going back to the 82 and 86 World Cups, and we lost a lot of players like perhaps they're going to do now. I think they're going to have to look for a lot of young players coming through now. If they don't qualify in this series, then I think that team could well break up, and they'll be looking for a lot of young players to come through like we've been doing at the moment.
Do you agree with that, Jim?
I do, yeah. I think it's nice that we can look now and say this is a save for the future. Hopefully we would like to be part of that. I mean, we'd all love to play in a major championship, and this could be a turning point for us. I mean, we hopefully, if we win tonight, we can stay on the same points as them and go on from there. Hopefully we can build on this for the next World Cup.
We could actually have been 3-0 up at half time because there was a chance there towards the break. Neil Lennon had a good chance.
He did, yeah.
We were hammering them.
Yeah, I mean, Neil was very cool here. Sidestepped the challenge well, and I don't think Neil's probably used to being in the box at those positions.
Great feat. He showed great composure there. I think he's a very confident lad, and it was a tremendous opportunity for him.
What do you think it is? I mean, guys come into the Northern Ireland side, fellas like Barry Hunter and Neil Lennon, they're playing in lower divisions. But Steve, they seem to settle in incredibly quickly and incredibly well. What's the reason for that? I
think there's a great team spirit in the squad these days, and young players come in, and there are enough older players there sort of to help them through. But with Northern Ireland, it's always been, we come in and we know we're going to work hard for each other, and no matter who you play for, then you come in and there's this effort, and we all work hard for each other and help each other through it.
Okay, Steve, let's see how hard we work for each other in the second half. Northern Ireland leading by 2-0 against Austria at Windsor. Back to George and Jackie in that windswept and miserable commentary box.
Thank you very much indeed, Mark, and such are the conditions up here. I'm not quite sure what you said there in your introduction, but the Austrians are back out here. And I was just saying to George Best, who's standing soaked beside me, that you can see there are not too many smiles at all. They must be totally deflated. They came here, they've had a good run since that setback against Northern Ireland last year. They were hoping to come here, get the victory, hoping that the Republic would slip up in Lisbon and Austria would be through to the European finals. But that's not the way it's turning out for them. And there's a substitute on. Number 16. Apologies, my headset is blowing off. Number 16 is a striker, Christian Stump, from the Rapid Vienna club, and it's a debut for him. He's 29-year-old, Christian Stump, as Northern Ireland make their way out. And the crowd, they're enduring the elements as well. And it's hard to believe the rain is still coming down. And there's Dowie, the man who got that penalty kick, our second goal. Smiles from him.
Well satisfied with that first half
And we'll have
yes,
a quick
very good first half.
look
very
around the
pleasing.
Northern
Two good
Ireland
goals,
team
good shape.
to see if there are any changes. Brian Hamilton.
Brian, you must be well satisfied with that first half performance.
A very good first half. Two good goals. Could have had more. Good shape, good passing, and confident first half. But it's not over yet.
What did you say to the players at half time?
No, it's just this, some more of the same, please.
Quick, very good, well done.
Smiles there from Brian Hamilton. There you can see the high up camera. The rain blowing right into the lens as the Austrians start this second half. So I'm trying to look around the Northern Ireland team for the moment. I don't think Northern Ireland have made any changes. And here come the Austrians. This could be dangerous here. That's a good strong challenge from Hill. But the Austrians still have it. It's in there. Fettis comes, but the breeze takes it away. And out of play. And that was Marcus Schopp trying to get up there. So Alan Fettis with the help of the breeze in this second half. As George was saying, he wasn't over troubled in the first half. So let's see what Northern Ireland can make of the breeze. Sometimes it's more difficult to play with the breeze as the ball keeps running away from you, as it did just then. This is Kugler with the throw. That was down the line from Firesinger, but out of play. And Nigel Worthington will be in no rush to take the throw in. Down the line, on by Dowie. Hughes gives chase. But Michael Konzel, another man from Rapid Vienna, winning his 23rd cap tonight, Konzel. Forward by O'Neill. Good challenge there from Lomas, but being over-aggressive, says the referee. Lomas claiming he went for the ball. He got it, but he also got the man. And an Austrian down on the far side of the pitch. So the ball played forward. Here's Worthington. So Worthington, the skipper, he'll be enjoying the evening. Northern Ireland leading by 2-0. Michael O'Neill, Ian Dowie, penalty kick. The first half. There's Lennon, he's had a good game, the man from Crewe. Gray will go wide. Here's Gillespie. Will try to run the defender again. Here's Dowie. Hughes. Worthington. Plenty of men in the middle. The ball blocked though. Number 14, Vettel, is also on for the Austrians. Polster gets it back. Austrians very patient with the build-up. Kugler. Pfeifenberger. Vettel, chunky little midfielder, Arnold Vettel, gets it forward, but much too long. Hunter has it, and Lennon helped it on its way. Vettel again, good challenge from Dowie, and again, much to the delight of the home supporters. Lomas puts it out of play though. Firesinger. Kugler. Pfeffer. Oh, a good run here on the far side, but that's Colin Hill across there. The man from Leicester City. Very tigerish, very strong in the tackle. And the throw-in goes to Austria. The long throw. Kugler, but that's short, well, almost short. And Gray almost sees the opportunity, but not quite. On by Dowie, on by Gillespie. Gray was trying to get in there. That's off the foot of Gillespie. Throw in goes to the Austrians. Seventh meeting of the two sides tonight. Northern Ireland only one defeat. That was 2-0 in a European Championship game in Vienna way back in 1982. Just after Northern Ireland had done so well at the World Cup finals in Spain. Down the line from Worthington. But that's Steiger way back there. And that may have been over the line. The corner kick may have been given. So a chance for Northern Ireland to get forward. And will they take it quickly? Gillespie gives it to Hughes. Gillespie floats it in, away from the keeper. Oh, it's 3-0! Is it Barry Hunter? I think it is. Smiles all round. His first game at Windsor Park and his first international goal. And is he pleased, George?
Well, you know, you expected Austria to come out, put a little bit of pressure under Northern Ireland. Keeper's flopped at it. It makes it 3-0. They're cruising at the moment, Northern Ireland.
So there we are. The man who will be 27 on Saturday, an early birthday present. And the announcement just been made. Hunter has scored. It's 3-0. And that, surely, George, must be that.
Well, it looks dead and buried now as far as the Austrians are concerned. They were looking for a goal before half-time and possibly a quick one at the start of the second half. Neither have come, and now Northern Ireland is strolling it.
Lomas. And here he is, Hunter, and his uncle Ian McFall on the bench. He's one of the coaches, former Northern Ireland goalkeeper, of course, will be very pleased as Gray tries to make his way forward. And Barry Hunter carrying on an international tradition. His dad Victor played for Northern Ireland, so too did Uncle Alan, the centre half. So what a proud night for that family. And what a way to celebrate your first international on home soil. So the Austrians absolutely devastated, I'm sure, but they have to try and keep going. Worthington will give it to Fettis. Hughes, usually the control is very slick and very good. Didn't work that time. Good tackle there from Michael O'Neill. He's worked very hard in midfield, apart from scoring that fine, very good opening goal. And the conditions still horrendous as we try to hold down the commentary box here on the roof at Windsor Park. Here's Firesinger, and the sweeper has forsaken his defensive duties. It's all or nothing now for the Austrians. But surely it's gone for them. Cross in, Northern Ireland get it away again. Dowie could come left if he can bring it down. He does, but the ball cut out. Pfeifenberger gives it to Firesinger. The defender moves forward again, gives it wide. Tony Polster has pulled off, heads for the byline. That's a good ball in. It's 3-1, and that's a very good goal indeed for the Austrians. Polster caused all of the problems on the right-hand side. There he is, the man at the far post, the header, and it was in. So 3-1 the score, and Marcus Schopp, the man who got the goal. But up come the chance from the crowd again. Northern Ireland, Northern Ireland. Apologies for the silence, I've just been changing microphones. Got a slight shock of the other one with the wet and the damp. Alec, are you hearing me? Free kick given. As the Austrians come forward again, Polster is in the middle. O'Neill losing out. Here's Steiger, hits it. It's not away yet, but the flag was up on the far, the near side here. The Swedish linesman.
Well, a few problems with the sound at Windsor Park, so I'll do my best to pick up commentary from here as Ian Dowie tries the shot, and not a bad effort from Dowie. Stevie, it's going to be difficult for the Austrians to come back into this, but I suppose they've got a chance now. They must think they have with that goal at this stage.
Yeah, I mean that goal's given them a glimmer of hope, maybe, you know. It was a good bit of work by the right winger, and I think Stevie Lomas slipped at the back post there, which maybe let someone in. But as long as we keep it tight, I can't see any real problems, you know. Keep it tight at the back.
It was a smashing goal by Barry Hunter to put us 3-0 into the lead.
It was.
And as you
Tremendous
say,
bit of skill, yeah. Tremendous bit of skill. Half volley, difficult out. He took it very well. Can't be a centre half, that boy.
The Austrians pushing forward, as they have to now, trailing by 3 goals to 1. They really have to win this match. And of course they could leave themselves at the back a wee bit if they do push up. That's Kogler. And now Thursinger. Another dangerous position for Northern Ireland here. That's well covered back by Colin Hill. In the first half, of course, this Northern Ireland defence played superbly. Michael O'Neill it was. So Alan Fettis, who had a pretty good first half, didn't have too much to do, just that one save from a corner kick, which was heading in at the near post. He managed to palm it away. Northern Ireland playing with this wind, played very well into it. That's Lomas. In for Gillespie down that far touchline. Here come the Austrians again. Through Vettel, the substitute. And here's Michael Hughes. That's a good ball to O'Neill. Good interception there. At about 14 minutes of this second half, and the score is Northern Ireland 3, Austria 1. Nigel Worthington, the captain. Barry Hunter, who scored that third goal at the beginning of the second half. He's had a pretty good game. Very solid first half performance. Michael O'Neill and Nigel Worthington marking, and I think he was looking for the free kick there, and the referee agrees. Safely back in the arms of Fettis. Of course, news of this latest score will have filtered across to Lisbon, I'm sure, by now. Jack Charlton and Morris Setters will know the score here. And if Northern Ireland can hang on, then of course the Republic at least go into a playoff, and that would be at Anfield on December the 13th. And the favourites at the moment to play the Republic in that game are France. Stevie, if you were Brian Hamilton now at 3-1, would you tell them just to settle back and try and tighten things up at the back?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard when you go 3-0 up. You can't help but maybe sit back on the lead, you know. But you've got to expect Austria to come forward at you now. I mean, they're 3-1 down. They've got absolutely nothing to lose. There's a lot at stake for them, so they're going to come forward. And in these situations, all you can do is defend at your best. I mean, Brian might feel that he has to make a change and maybe bring a defensive player in there. But as long as we're composed and keep playing like we did in the first half, there shouldn't be any problems.
There's Pfeifenberger playing the ball through. It was Marcus Schopp who scored the Austrians' goal 10 minutes into the second half. A bit of poor marking at the far post. And 3-1 it is. Alan Fettis, who's been in dispute at Hull City. But as Jackie Fullerton said in the first half, before the technical problems, a 6th consecutive international appearance for Northern Ireland. That's Gillespie. And Northern Ireland will get the throw. What a superb first half performance we enjoyed here from Northern Ireland. Steve Lomas with the throw. And we hear from Lisbon that Portugal have just scored. Northern Ireland could make it 4 here. Oh, so close. And it was Tippy Gray flying in there. Another good cross. Those whipped in crosses right and left have caused all sorts of problems for the Austrian defence in this match. Consul in goal. Northern Ireland with the win. It's Michael Hughes through the gloom. A good looking corner that is, and not a great punch. And another one. 4-1. Hunter again. Well, can you believe it? He's done a Jerry Taggart. Jerry Taggart made a hobby of scoring goals for Northern Ireland, and Barry Hunter can hardly believe it. His home debut, and he's on a hat-trick. Great cross from Michael Hughes, great corner, and Consul couldn't handle it. Well, it was Hunter who played the ball in. And headed in by Tippy Gray on the line. So no doubt Philip Gray will claim that one. But certainly set up by Barry Hunter. Rui Costa scored the goal in Portugal to put the Portuguese in the lead by 1-0, but that shouldn't matter now for the Republic. 4-1 to Northern Ireland will guarantee them a playoff place at the very least. It's Fearsinger, and now Pfeifenberger back to Fearsinger, number 5. And just when the Austrians thought they'd got themselves back into the match with a chance, Northern Ireland do it again. 4 goals here for Northern Ireland. Tremendous performance.
Right, thank you very much indeed, Mark. I've made my way down from the roof. We were getting a few shocks up there, not as many shocks as the Austrians with that 4th goal. And what a night, as you said, for young Barry Hunter. 2 goals in his international debut here at Windsor Park. And what a great night it's been for Northern Ireland. And what a tragic night it's been for the Austrians. They came here with high hopes. But their European Championship dream is certainly over. Lennon, he's been a tower of strength in the midfield. And the fans really enjoying this here. And that's Pfeifenberger who cuts it out. Inside the scanner, as I said, commentating off the monitor in here. At least it's warm and it's dry as the Austrians try to get through again. And that looked like Polster, who was pushed off it as Northern Ireland get it out. Gillespie comes left, Worthington. And there he is. Hunter to get it forward. Gillespie being roared on by the crowd. Gets the ball in. Dowie. Oh, and the goalkeeper had to be alert. That was Konzel diving to his left. Dowie looking for his 2nd goal of the night. And George Best, he's made his way down here with me. We've got a microphone rigged up for him. George, a 4th goal, and it's going oh so well.
Terrific, yeah. When they went 3 up, as often happens, a little bit of concentration went. Austria scored. They'll be hoping to get back into it, but Northern Ireland kept coming at them. And what a night for Barry Hunter. 2 goals, terrific stuff. So it really does look all over now for the Austrians.
Here we are, Fearsinger trying to make his way forward. An Austrian takes a dive. I don't think that would have impressed the referee. Number 16 it was. And that is Christian Stump. Northern Ireland preparing to defend. This is Stauger to take it. Gets it in. And the ball sails harmlessly wide. And no trouble in the end for Northern Ireland. Well, the Northern Ireland players, they were, apart from being disappointed, they were slightly embarrassed by their home form. There they were, going away, unbeaten in their away campaign, but only the win here against Liechtenstein. And then defeats by Portugal, by the Republic and by Latvia. And that Latvian defeat in June by 2-1 was oh so costly. Had it not been for that, we would have been here tonight with a real chance of going through. But it wasn't to be, sadly. And it wasn't to be there for Schopp, as he couldn't keep the ball in play. Well, I've had a note handed to me saying that Philip Gray got the 4th goal this evening. Now, I was in transit from the roof down to here, but I was informed that Mr. Hunter had got his 2nd goal of the night. So there we are. Confusion reigns here, and the rain reigns as well at Windsor Park. But no confusion at all about the scoreline. It's 4-1 for Northern Ireland as Firesinger tries to make his way forward. Lennon. Hill gives it to Worthington. Northern Ireland, sing the fans. Outside, free kick given. Polster pulls the trigger. Saw it there, it's another goal. And has it been given? Yes, it has indeed. It's 4-2. It's now raining goals here at Windsor Park. Polster with the shot. There's the save, the rebound, and it's in the net. It's 4-2. George, what about that?
Yeah, again, you know, a little bit of lapse in concentration. These conditions, goalkeeper just couldn't quite hold it, and they're going in left, right and centre at the moment.
Reminder, it's still 1-0 in Lisbon. As the Austrians are trying everything they can to hit back here in Belfast. 1-0 Portugal. And if things stay the way they are, then the Republic would be in second place and the Austrians would be out. At the time easing away here at Windsor Park. The Austrians get it out. And the white shirts, I said it was a mountain to climb for them, but who knows? At 4-2. Pfeifenberger puts it way across. Kogler. That was great. Northern Ireland will have to try and keep possession. Here's Firesinger. Another lapse in concentration could be costly. That was Vettel. Goes for the run, but good tackling back again by Gillespie. And this is Lomas. Pfeffer. Once again, the Austrians try to build. Walter Kogler. Vettel. Patient build-up. Here's Polster, and danger again. And that was forward by Stauger, but just too far. Christian Stumpf was in there, the other Austrian substitute. Conditions, as you can see from some of the camera shots, still quite dreadful. It really is, as they would say in this part of the world, a real November evening. And now get it out, but the Austrians trying to get it through. They can't find a way through as yet. And not hitting the target that time. This was Marasek. He got the second goal for the Austrians. That's on by Gray. Dowie did well, closed down the defender. That's Lomas with the header. Dowie gets it out wide, and Northern Ireland keep it in. Michael Hughes making his way across the far side. Good run, down he goes. It looks as though the corner kick has been given on the far side. Hansel thought it was a goal kick, but the referee and linesman in agreement. So Michael Hughes stays over there as Hansel prepares. Dowie is in there. Just 15 minutes left. Now Hughes opted out, gives it to Gillespie. Hughes again to drill it in, right across the face of that goalmouth. Man who hit a tremendous goal in Oporto in the 1-1 draw with Portugal. Couldn't hit the target that time, but delivered a firm cross. So Austria playing into the driving rain, trying to keep coming forward, but time running out. But they haven't given it up. This is Marcus Schopp getting forward. Phil Gray limping slightly there. May have taken a bit of a knock. It may be a bit of cramp. Wouldn't be surprised if it was cramp on a night like this. But the Austrians still try to get forward. But once again, plenty of green shirts behind the ball. Ian Dowie in the shot there. Northern Ireland defending in numbers. Here's Marasek. That's a good ball in. Fettis with the punch. And Hughes to pick up. And to run. Goes past the defender. Looks inside for support, lays it inside. Oh, Michael O'Neill, lovely chip and a lovely goal. Second of the night for Michael O'Neill. It's number 5. George, super cool finish.
Well, what a great run down the left-hand side, taking the defenders on, and a lovely little ball inside, and he's finished clinically. Terrific. I mean, looks like these goals are never going to stop coming. Beautifully taken, absolutely perfect finish.
Yes, a super finish from Michael O'Neill. 2 goals for him and 5 for Northern Ireland. Their biggest win in these European Championships. All made by him. Michael Hughes laid it inside. They both went to St. Louis School in Ballymena together. There they are, teaming up again. Great finish. So the man who at times, there's confirmation of the score, and what a great scoreline. What a happy scoreline it is here in Belfast. 5-2 Northern Ireland. And if we thought, or if the Austrians thought they could come back, maybe grab a point, well, it now looks as though it's definitely gone. And here we come again, Northern Ireland. The long crossover, but no one arriving in the middle. So 12 minutes left. And I'm told it's now 2-0 in Portugal, for Portugal. But Jack Charlton, no doubt, will have heard the latest from Windsor Park, and that may have eased some of his pain. Here's Hill. What a great competitor he is, Colin Hill. Now here's Hughes. He's full of it at the moment, Michael Hughes. Nigel Worthington. Just left that one to Marcus Schopp. I have a feeling, as I'm inside now, commentating off the monitor, I have a feeling that Phil Gray may have gone off, and I think I spotted Alan McDonald on. Here's Worthington. Lovely shimmy, and wins the corner. But Nigel Worthington, he's always very proud to play for his country. Indeed, he hasn't won the corner kick. Always very proud to play for his country, always proud to skipper his country, and what a great night to be captain. Hughes. Michael Hughes, who set up that 5th goal. Here's Worthington. Forward by Firesinger. And Allen get the header out. And the fans still singing. Pfeifenberger. Turned by Polster. Oh, the Austrians could be in here again. And there we are, it's 5-3. And that looks like Arnold Vettel got the break, but what a cool finish, what a good finish. It is raining goals here, as George Best said. Off the foot of the Northern Ireland defender, and he did well, although it did go through Fettis a bit, George.
It did a little bit. You know, if Austria had played a little bit like this in the first half, it might have been a lot closer. They keep coming back, but time's running out for them. I think there's only about 8-9 minutes left, so Northern Ireland are still in the driving seat.
Yes, and there's another substitution. Jimmy Quinn comes on to a great roar of approval from the fans. Ian Dowie, the man going off. So there's confirmation. Could you believe that? I was suggesting to Brian Hamilton earlier today, the pressure off the Northern Ireland lads, they couldn't qualify. Austria, they'd have to come here, they'd have to go for it. We could see a good open game of football. And my word, it's turned out that way. 5-3, the highest scoreline here at Windsor Park for many's a day. And once again, another glimmer of hope, perhaps, they'll be thinking for the Austrians. Free kick given against Neil Lennon, it was. And the Austrians take it quickly. Firesinger. That's Pfeffer. Number 4, Anton Pfeffer from Austria Vienna. But once again, the green shirts defending in numbers, getting behind the ball. Here's Jimmy Quinn. This is Schopp. And the Austrians try to build again from the back. Down the line by Steiger. But that was a good challenge there from Alan McDonald. First time he's appeared as a substitute for Northern Ireland. Here's Pfeffer. Once again, the ball into the goal mouth. Here's Schopp. Deep cross again, should be Fettis's. I thought he might try to catch it, but he's punched it. And the corner kick. But on a night like this, taking no chances, Alan Fettis. As the ball swung in, off an Austrian head. But he's headed it the wrong way. Steiger. Starger working the 1-2. This is good stuff from the Austrians, but a bit of a misunderstanding there. And Gillespie will leave it for Fettis. And our camera is really taking a pounding here. Just 6 minutes left. Dreadful night weather-wise, as we keep saying, but what a great night it's been for Northern Ireland football. We were talking earlier about some optimism, the younger players coming through, and certainly a sign here. O'Neill keeps it in, lays it back. Oh, that was a good chance for a first international goal for Neil Lennon, and he couldn't take it. And he'll know, very well done indeed by Michael O'Neill, and Lennon will know it was there to be buried.
Yeah, another great chance, Jackie. They've created so many chances in the whole 90 minutes. Terrific. The first half, they had half a dozen great chances, and that was another really clear-cut chance. That should have been another one. It's stuck in the back of the net.
And I'd have to say there's been so many very good performances tonight. Unfair to pick people out, but Michael O'Neill, a couple of goals, setting up chances, he's worked hard, he would be a candidate. So Michael Konzel, the Austrian keeper, not a night for him to remember. The goalkeeper, Konzel, had two very good games in the wins home and away against the Republic, but he'll not remember this game against the other part of Ireland. 5 in his net this evening so far. All the way back to Alan Fettis. Just about 4 minutes on the watch. Kogler. That looks like Colin Hill up there, the Leicester City skipper. Another man who's had an outstanding game tonight. Along with his fellow defenders, they've, as George was saying, they've really defended in depth. They've really been very solid, and people like Polster and Steiger, very good players indeed. And yet they've been snuffed out here this evening in Belfast. Kogler. Firesinger. Marasak. Gets it back. Strong player is Marasak. Starger couldn't get in there. Good tackling from Northern Ireland. And good play again from Northern Ireland. O'Neill at the centre of things. Oh, it was almost a good ball for Michael Hughes here on the left side. And Northern Ireland on their way to victory. The 3 points will take them into 3rd place. And as Mark Robson was saying at half-time, our seeding important for the World Cup draw coming up in December. But really, what a great way to end the European Championship campaign. Yes, there's disappointment, we're not going to next year's finals. We're always outsiders to qualify for major finals. We can only live in hope. But they've done very well indeed. And George, I'm sure you'd agree, some optimism for the future.
Yes, definitely. As I said earlier, Jackie, some terrific performances by the younger players. It all augurs well for the future. First 45 minutes almost perfect from Northern Ireland point of view. I think at the end of the day they'll maybe be a little bit disappointed to concede the goals they have, but when you look at sticking 5 in the other end, a terrific result.
Yes indeed, just 2 minutes left, and that's Shop who's down. The challenge was from Hill. A little bit of a contretemps there between Steiger and Gillespie, as Northern Ireland try to form the wall. And as you can see, the rain's still coming down. So 5-3 Northern Ireland, a remarkable scoreline. in these days, modern day football. Goals are hard to come by, but not tonight. So Fetis trying to line up the green shirts. Now Polster is there, the number 9. The number 9, the skipper, who scored in the game in Vienna last year. Now the referee, I think, is happy with the wall. So let's see the 1-2 here perhaps, and then Polster put off the wall, and Worthington gets it away to the delight and the cheers of the crowd. So as we come up to the end of the 90 minutes, don't like to keep harping on about the weather, but the fans who've endured it, they must have enjoyed it, as a green shirt goes down there, and a few Northern Ireland players none too happy with the challenge. Now, is it Alan McDonald that's gone down? Here we are. And he certainly took quite a thump there. Yes, it is Alan McDonald. And that was quite a ferocious challenge. By Shop it was. And a bit of anxiety there. Because Alan McDonald, he's not the type of player to lie down. He's not hurt. We're now 30 seconds into time added on in this game. Terry Hayes, the Northern Ireland physio there. Dr. Michael Cullen out there as well. Was some concern initially when McDonald went down like a ton of bricks. He's still feeling a bit groggy. But George, as we near the end, your overall summary of this evening?
Well, a great performance. You're looking at the conditions, you know, everybody's had a difficult night. Cameramen, the fans, the players, the commentators. We've had to move 3 times. But a great night for Northern Ireland, as you said. They'll be very, very pleased. Disappointed they haven't qualified. But as we said earlier, a lot of young players, maybe a little bit of experience, lack of experience showed at the end, you know, conceding the 3 goals. But they've got to be very, very happy. And I would think Brian Hamilton will be getting a crate of champagne from a certain Englishman over in Portugal.
Yes. Well, Jack doesn't normally buy a drink, but he might on this occasion. It's now 3-0 Portugal, I'm told. Disappointment for the Republic over there, but not disappointment for them in Belfast. Northern Ireland have done it for Northern Ireland, looking after their own seedings for the forthcoming World Cup. But along the way, they've obviously helped Jack Charlton's Republic finish in 2nd place in Group 6. Though it depends on results tonight, but it now looks as though the Republic would be going into the playoff, sudden death playoff at Anfield on December the 13th. We'll have to wait for that one. As the Austrians try to come forward, the referee has played a lot of injury time, but he's brought it all to an end now. What a great night it's been. 8 goals in a modern-day international. Where would you get it? Hunter. What a great night it's been for him. What a night it's been for the fans as well. And Brian Hamilton, and there's Michael O'Neill, 2 goals for him. All round a very good performance in midfield. But Brian Hamilton, it's his last game in charge of his current agreement. The word is he will be staying on to take them into the World Cup campaign, and that performance tonight, I'm sure, will have helped make up his mind. Handshakes all round there for the officials from Nigel Worthington. He salutes the fans. 61st cap for Worthington, and I'm sure he's had many happy occasions, none happier than tonight. There's his fellow Ballymena man, Michael O'Neill, the man who plays for Hibs. Very much back in the frame. There was also a goal from Ian Dowie, of course. The Austrians tried to hit back, And they did. They got 3 goals, as George Best was saying. They would be disappointed at conceding those goals, losing a bit of concentration, a bit of discipline perhaps. But Northern Ireland, they were scoring at the other end, and that's what counts. And the final scoreline here at Windsor Park, a very wet Windsor Park. What happy reading it makes. Northern Ireland 5, Austria 3.